Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 16 of Direwolf20's Stoneblock series. Today I want to get taken care of some of the stuff that I've been kind of delaying a little bit. It's about high time we get a refined storage system a little bit more up to snuff, as it were. So we've got our crafter manager, we've got our pattern grid, and we've got our crafting grid. I'd like to do more with auto crafting. So last episode we worked heavily on doing the Supremium furnace, right? And I was going to upgrade him to an ultimate, but decided to hold off because blocks of Supremium essence, even though they're easy to get Supremium from the Wither, still just relatively pricey to the point where I just don't feel like getting it right now. But I'm going to automate the Wither relatively soon, so we'll get a lot of it then. Does that sound cool? I hope so, because that's what we're doing. All right, so we automated the Wither last. Well, no, we killed the Wither a bunch last episode. We didn't automate him yet. That's on the to-do list. Also, between episodes, only because about 1 million people commented to this effect, I did make a mob imprisonment tool for skeletons, and we're going to actually turn the lights on in there. Boom, and see what's what. So you are. Why are you not running at the moment? You should have been running. Oh, that's right, I turned you off or something? I forget why I turned you off. I was doing some testing and troubleshooting and stuff with this because I expanded the drawer system to basically hold more, mob-related stuff. We still get a lot of heads and whatnot because we have the beheading thing on the masher, but otherwise it's not too bad. Mostly I just wanted to capture things like necrotic bones and wither dust and skull fragments we were starting to get stacks of, and skeleton skulls we were starting to get stacks of, and all that good stuff, right? So let's let this clean up because I want to demonstrate the Skullfire sword against normal skeletons because a lot, and I mean a lot, of people commented to this effect. Alright, so emptied chest. I'm going to set you to require redstone signal high. We are going to allow the spawning of skeletons, and we're going to spawn a handful of them and see what we wind up with. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. 6, 7. That should be good, right? 8. So how'd we do for wither skeleton skulls? So we got 8 wither skeleton skulls. So using this sword is no better than using the mob masher. It seems to be about the same, right? Because when we were testing with the mob masher, in terms of strictly speaking wither skeleton skulls, right? Like, I'm not talking about getting more bones or more arrows or more solidified experience. Because to be fair, like, I've got such a large amount of that stuff, we're already voiding pretty much all of it. Why are you... Cool. Yeah, so we've got 32 stacks of that. We've got 32 stacks of that coming in. So, I mean, like, we're basically at the point where I don't see a good reason to automate it with the Skullfire sword. Like, I understand it would just be different than using the mob masher like before, but, like, it's already there. I don't see a compelling reason why I should go ahead and automate using the Skullfire sword. Like, if killing those 10 regular skeletons had dropped 30 skulls instead of the 10 skulls that it dropped or whatever. That would maybe, be an argument to be made, right? Or the 8 skulls, right? Like, that would be an argument. Like, hey, look, it really is better. But it's not. It's not that lot better, right? Like, if I really want more skulls, I just do these 2 levers. Or not that one. This one, not that one. And, like, let this thing run. And, like, we're going to get wither skeleton skulls pretty good, right? Obviously, we're going to want a wither skeleton in here, not a skeleton. But it's not like spawning wither skeletons is really any more expensive than spawning regular skeletons. Now, the argument could be made that we wouldn't need a spawner at all. You could say, like, you could just leave it as a dark room, and any skeletons that spawn, if they're killed with this sword, will turn into wither skeletons. And you'd get skulls from that. But, like, 6 to 1, half dozen the other. Plus, now we're getting wither skull fragments, which I don't think we would get, which I guess can just be used to make wither skulls. We're also getting drops of evil. We're also getting wither dust. We're also getting necrotic bones. Like, these are things we wouldn't get otherwise. So, like, I don't know. I get what a lot of commenters were saying. Like, this would be a cool way to do it. But, like, my way isn't terrible. I feel like everybody's like, Dire, your way is so bad. This Skullfire sword is so much better. It's like, well, it's not. It's pretty comparable. in terms of, strictly speaking, Wither Skeleton Skulls, right? Now, if I wanted a lot more general mob drops, sure, the Skullfire Sword would be better. But again, like, letting this room run like this, right? And I can even turn the lights off, right? Just letting this room run with the lights off, like, we're getting tons of mob drops. Like, I'm not hurting for them to the point. And now I get to keep my sword, right? Like, I don't have to put my sword in an automation thing. I can keep it to use it for whatever purposes I want. So, I don't know. I feel like keeping the sword is a good thing. Anyway, enough on that topic. So I'm keeping the room as it is. We've got plenty of Wither Skeleton Skulls coming in. If we get to the point where we need to change things, I will. But I'm not seeing a compelling argument to do so. Let's automate. So, let's do some things. First off, I want to automate the Supremium Furnace, right? So we're going to want an exporter. So let's like get some patterns for an exporter from Refined Storage. So you just need to know that. You're going to be made with that. And then the exporter will also require a construction core. And then the main thing that the exporter is going to need is improvement processors, right? So we're going to want Refined Storage as processors. Like we want all three types to be taught here, including the silicon, right? We're also going to need to know how to make more cutting tools. And we're also going to need to know how to make more silicon, right? So there's silicon chickens, which you can breed from sand and clay. So that's one option for silicon. Loot bags doesn't sound like a particularly good idea. So like there's other kinds of silicon, right? So there's Ender IO silicon, applied energistic silicon, and refined storage silicon. We can just smelt nether quartz. So that's a thing, right? Let's see what other silicons there are. So we can get applied energistic silicon. So there's mystical agriculture silicon, so that's a thing. And that one is just, again, smelting essentially quartz. Mechanism has a way to turn sand into silicon, which ain't terrible. The material stonework factory can turn cobblestone into silicon in a not terribly bad way. That might be an approach. Are we at the point where we can get a material stonework factory? Because that would be kind of cool to have. Right, then there's Ender IO silicon, which we can get. So we can either do chickens, or we can smelt stuff, you know, or we can get seeds. So silicon seeds are just a tier 2. So that ain't too bad, honestly. It's really not. And we could just throw it in our normal farm, because, like, we need a good amount of silicon, but not, like, a stupid amount. So we could go this route, right? So I could just, let's get some silicon seeds. Why not? That seems easy enough to do, because it shouldn't be too bad. You know what? I might want 2 sets of, let's do 3 sets of silicon seeds. Does that sound fair? Are we really like that out of silicon that we have none left? Because that's funny. Oh no, I've cut it all. That's why. So you just need any silicon, right? So let's just get some quartz times like 12 and smelt it. And you smelt fast enough and good enough in here. Granted, the Supremium Furnace is faster, but meh, doesn't matter all that much. It's all good. Okay. So, with that taken care of, we should be able to do this now and get 3 silicon seeds, woot, which can now be placed basically like that, right? And then we should be getting lots of silicon essence, which can be used, 3 of them make 8 silicon, and that would be good enough, right? So the only thing that uses silicon here is the cut silicon recipe. No, that's the cutter. Hang on. Yeah, you. So you did grab applied energistic silicon, which is what we get from here. So let's teach this guy to make that, and then we're pretty cool. Now, in terms of crafting manager, we're totally going to need more of you, right? So part of me, let's get like 1 or 2 more crafters. Does that sound reasonable? Yeah, I think that sounds reasonable. So let's go set up Did you ever get your export bus and your cabling? Let's put like this in here for now. Would you be able to make an exporter? So you're just missing basic processor and improved processors, right? Which we can totally hook up in the Supremium furnace. But we do need a crafter for that. So let's go ahead and get ourselves one. Cool. So we're going to want 2 advanced and... Let's see. Oh, you're missing... Am I totally missing diamonds? I am totally missing diamonds. Huge to-do item before we get into this. More diamonds. How do we want to go about getting diamonds? Oh, hello, giant mess. See? There's a reason that I am not currently going out of my way to get more resources here. Now, why are you back stuff? Because you really shouldn't be. Mostly because you are not turned on and extracting. So there's that. I could have sworn that I flipped that back, but okay. Cool. So you all do your thing. But yeah, we have lots of stuff to clean up. How do I want to do this? More diamonds. So we could get diamonds either from chickens, right? Or we could get diamonds from mystical agriculture. Which, you know, diamond seeds is a tier 5 seed. I just need 4 diamonds, and it would be a quick way to go. However, if I wanted to get roosting chickens, it's glass and gold, iron and yellow. Like, it's a lot of breeding to get to a diamond chicken. So let's start with mystical agriculture chickens, only because... so let's do diamond seed. We'll start with 1. That should be cool. We might even have some blues already. Now, I did all my Supremium, but it shouldn't be too bad. Let's kill like 2 withers, and then we should be good. I think 2 withers would be the sufficient amount needed to get the Supremium. And I should really just get into the habit of, hey, I thought I did a shift click here. Yay. I should really set up like the auto spawner thing. Does the whole area get darker when there's a wither spawn, or is it just me? So I feel like that's what happens. that will never cease to be a chuckle to me. Right? I will never stop chuckling at that. I'm just checking here. I had to put some stuff down there. Because the explosion was going through the walls and breaking that. I think we're cool now. Is that enough? I think that's enough. Actually, I think I need 1 more. 1 more wither will do it for Supremium. So y'all are cool in there? Good. Hooray! See? Why would I put this sword in a machine when I can just one-shot withers with it? I mean, come on. So now we're going to want a diamond seed, which obviously needs 4 diamonds, but I can just, you know, grab some gravel, sift it up, and get enough diamonds, which is what I'm basically going to do. Am I crazy, or... Didn't I have more essence than that? Oh, right. No, I have to kill 2 more withers and sift. So let's do that, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. Diamonds ahoy. So... diamond seed should be good to go now. Nice. That's what's up. All right, so you're all 4 of those, right? So let's swap you out here. We'll start getting, you know, just a bunch of diamond resource things, right? So those are going to make 3 of these because we're doing the fluxed, right? And then, you know, that'll be, you know, so 3 operations of this process equals a diamond. Not, you know, the fastest thing in the world by far, right? But good enough. And also, I'm going to throw more gravel in here because you actually did a good job of making diamonds all by yourself. So, like, no reason not to do that because it's just like a little passive thing going on over there. So that's cool. All right, so we have a few diamonds now. So refined storage, we can get 2 of you, and you're cool. Nice. And I'm going to automate the Supremium furnace here in just a minute, right? And then let's get like 10 of you. Can you do that? Yeah, you can. Good job. Good job, refined storage. Now, can you make a crafter? So just to make a crafter, you need one of these. And we're cool. Nice. All right. Let's get like 2 stacks of that just to have it on hand, and you can go away for a minute. Can you make an export bus, by the way? You are just missing an improved processor. So you know what I'm going to do? Can we request more patterns? That's right, I took the pattern recipe out. You go to there. Just missing some redstone? Really? Not anymore, you're not. Sweet. All right, so let's set up like the crafting room, which is basically going to be this. So like this wall will probably be my multi-block crafter, or maybe over here. But what I want to have is over here, pretty much just any machine-based crafting. So you, for example, can go right there. And we're probably going to want an interface over here so that all my items can just route directly into it and then get imported into the system, right? Rather than have import buses on everything. Not that it's like the end of the world with refined storage because channels isn't a thing, but you get the idea. So cables. I should really get my wireless thing going too. I super duper want morph. I should just add it to the pack. Cause why not? It wouldn't be the first time. Alright, online? You technically should be online. Unless I missed a cable, like there. Hooray! Blue. Nice. So that means now that we can come over here, we can get our patterns, and then we can say, hey, you use this to get this. So like put this into processing mode, and we can do that, that, and that, and then you guys can go into the Supremium furnace. Nice. Cool. And then for you, let's put the exporter in here. So now I should be able to say exporter, start. It's just missing a cable. That's all right. We'll get that added in a minute. And then let's also get some coal. Another thing I'm getting from Wither Skeletons, by the way. So you should... Oh, are you done already? Did you already have everything smelted that you needed? It's possible. I thought he needed the gold one. Ooh, you know what? The furnace might need insert into the top. That might be a thing. Let's get the crafting monitor going. Cool. Smelt that up super quick. I just want to see if it's stuck on Supremium, and then that'll tell me. Because we should have one of these anyway. Ow. How did it... Where did it... What? Unacceptable. Oh, our Pam's thing disappeared. I mean, that's not the end of the world. I'm just wondering how that happened. Oh, I bet I know how it happened. This is probably how it happened. I need to do something about that. At some point, but not today. I'm working on other stuffs at the moment. And how did you happen? Oh, right, because, I know how that happened. It's because the creeper just blew up the torches there. So, you guys, crafting monitor. Cool. Machine doesn't accept item. Right. So let's go fix that. You might have to accept it on the top. And if that's the case, you know, no super big deal. We just do that. We do that, and then you guys and you. So then we test this out by requesting that exporter again. And what he should be doing now is smelting one of those gold dudes. Yeah, he is. Nice. Cool. And then you got that, and then you can be put into the system. So we just have to, you know, set up the importer. But for now, you can just be canceled and request that again, and he should craft now. Hooray! So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to export bus coal into the Supremium furnace, and then we're good to go. Nice. All right. Sounds cool to me. Now, hopefully it's the side that I can pull out of, and I'm assuming it will be, but we'll find out. Sweet. Export coal. Bada bing, bada boom. Easy peasy. All right, so let's get another crafter here. Can I teach you how to make crafters, please? Because you should know how to make most of that stuff, except for the destruction core, which I don't think I taught you yet. And then what I'm going to do is remove the exporter. And that's cool, right? So can you take care of all of that for me? You know what I need to do? I need an importer. Or I need an interface. Which I think is probably the smarter solution. So in order to make that, we also need to know how to make an importer. And we probably also need to know how to make one of these. There's a lot of things we have to craft. That's for sure. So what I'm going to do is in here, we're going to take you out, and because I want to make more crafters here. That should be cool. So are you good then? You would be good if I'd actually put the interface recipe in there. Nice. So right now it's processing these two things. Cool. And you shouldn't have to do much else work. Yay! Cool. Should we do item ducts? Or item conduits? Let's do item conduits. They would just be a little bit faster. So what we'll have is basically that. Now I think that you're such that you could be here to here. And where's my Yeta wrench? So you're going to be an insert. And you're going to be an extract, always active. Nice. Oh, that's not good. Explain why you're extracting there. What if I made you extract always active? So you're extract always active, and you are insert, and you're behaving a little bit better. That works for me. Can I export bus? Into the back. Aren't furnaces usually like the bottom slot is the bottom and the output is the side? It's weird that the Supreme furnace is kind of reversed in that regard. But oh well, I'm okay with it. Not a problem for me. So in theory, that should work now. So if we asked for a crafter instead of an interface, you're just missing some quartz. And what should happen is, see how it's processing these guys and they all work through? Nice. And now we have another crafter. That's awesome. So I'm basically going to get a couple crafters to hold us over until we get into the multi-block crafting phase, which should be very, very soon. Beautiful. So now I should have no problem crafting another crafter. Cool. Except for the fact that we don't have diamonds. That's part of our problem, is that we don't have diamonds. Hey, look! There's my market from Pam's. Yay, it was found. Go! Yay! Ooh, it feels really nice to have some auto crafting going on. So like Wallow Crafters or Reborn Storage is in the pack, isn't it? So we could go with the multi-block crafting frame stuff, but this stuff, in fairness, is a little expensive. So maybe I don't want to do this just yet. I'll go with a Wall of Crafters for now, and then we can upgrade to a multi-block form later. That seems reasonable, right? Look how nice I'm trying to keep everything. See? Trying to keep it nice. How did you guys make out? Not too shabby. I'll take it. I mean, that works, right? Chickens technically would be faster, and I acknowledge that. However, I'm going to state that it would take longer to get a diamond chicken than it took to get a mystical agriculture diamond crop. So there's that. Cool. You're doing a good job over here. And I am therefore proud of you. Cool. All right, so the other thing I'm going to want is wireless from Refined. So we're going to want a wireless transmitter, which needs enough of you. That shouldn't be too bad. Okay. Then we're going to want probably a wireless crafting grid. There it is, wireless crafting grid. And I don't think the infinite range one exists anymore. That's a lot of things. Grid just needs that and some glass. Okay. Refined grid. Boom. That can be upgraded into a crafting grid. That can be upgraded into a wireless crafting grid with just a bit more of this. Sweet. And you already got your power. I'm going to link you here somehow, I think. Yeah, he's online now. And then we just need him to be connected to something like that. Now, you're only going to have a 16 block range, so we're going to want to bump the range up, but I want to see how much power you're using. Usage 63 RF a tick, and a actually, the wireless transmitter is not that bad. But what's powering you at the moment? Are you getting power from that dude? All right, so you're not terrible in terms of power. I forgot if I had hooked him up with, like, the 80 RF limit or not. I assumed I didn't, because that wouldn't last that long, but it, you know, it might have been something I would have done. Let's just put it that way, right? So if I want range upgrades on you, oh, and you need to be in JEI synchronized. Cool. You should probably learn how to make upgrades. So that I can autocraft upgrades ×4. Cool. And then we're going to want a decent amount of that, and just some ender pearls, and we're cool. Upgrading. And that'll give me a 64 block range, which on this map, or 48 block it looks like, ain't so bad. How much power is that using? 40 RF a tick? Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world by far. Hopefully it doesn't start becoming a problem for my power gen. I don't think it will, but power gen is going to be like really soon on our list. Speaking of power gen, people keep saying that there's some kind of cool coil. Something coil from some mod. That's not it. Spectre coils. Yes. You guys keep talking about Spectre coils. Spectre coil and our... And that comes out of epic loot bags only, right? So, like, should we try and go for that? Should we try and go for that? Oh, look, there's other cool stuff. So we could get, like, a loot bag opener, right? Loot bag opener. Easy enough to get. And what we could do is maybe grab a decent sized chest for a minute. We have enough gold that we can get a gold chest, but I'm not going to waste diamonds on it. How are you doing, by the way? Not shabby. I don't know that you need power per se. But I should be able to just do... Well, I want to put it in here because I have this dude already chilling, right? So if I set you to epic, right, that's where we're going to get Spectre coils from. Apparently these just generate 128 RF a tick for doing nothing, which isn't a huge amount, to be fair, but everybody keeps recommending I try them out. So let's try them out. Does that sound fair? And I think we got enough mob drops for now, so I'm going to turn the lights on so it gets a little quieter in there. I think we tested this on Modern Skyblock, but I can break this loot bag storage and it retains all these stored loot bags, right? But let's not worry about that. So you're gonna... So on the up, it's gonna be an insert. And on the down, it's gonna be an extract always active. Neat. Hey, we already got one. Ha, 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 ha. Wow, we already got two. Okay, so that's funny. Ooh, we even got a growth crystal tier 2. Well, that's cool. I didn't realize that growth crystals... Oh, we can get tier 3 growth crystals out of legendary loot bags? Oh my goodness. I was unaware of that. These loot bags, man. I mean, that is some shenanigans right there. So that's like a decent amount of RF attack, right? And there's other things that we're getting too. So I think what we should probably do, just make sure, well, it's a little bit bright still. Even though I personally hate having torches on the floor, we have to deal with our lighting situation at some point here. Let's put this here and put you here, right? Insert, extract, sweet. we'll just like let that open for a little bit. Ender lilies, huh? That's fancy. Now, if I cycled you to legendary, you should start transferring legendaries over, correct? And maybe we'll get a couple tier 3 growth crystals, and that would be kind of nice to have. Hey, look at that. Draconium. Man, what kind of craziness do we get from tier 3 loot or legendary loot bags? Actually, not a ton of things. But, like, enough good things. Usually I kind of, like, ignore loot bags. But in this case, it's like, you know. We are going to burn through them really quickly, though, if I open up all as legendary. But I just want to see if I can get some, you know, we got some growth crystals tier 2. Which, you know, that's nice. But tier 3 growth crystals are, like, shenanigans. They need a lot of end crystals, like, which are wither skulls, but, or nether stars, but still, not terrible. I wonder what, like, the % chance of getting this stuff is. Hey, there's one. Sweet. Growth crystal tier 3. They're not as crazy OP. I tested this in my single player test world. I mean, I call it a single player test world, but you know what I mean. I tested it in my test world. Let's set down active with signal for a minute so that you stop extracting. Did you by chance? You got a lot of diamond stuff. I bet I could process this stuff and get the diamonds out of it. Yeah, pulverizers can do it. Pretty cool. Not bad at all. So we got 3 of these specter coils, which is pretty much what I was going for, right? We got a few other decent things out of this. Portal charms and acceleration wand. Hey, hey. You know what I'm going to say? Like, a majority of that stuff is pretty good. Mostly because it can be converted into diamonds. So that's neat. Right? Let's first hook up these specter coils and see what they're all about. So I'm assuming I just, like, place them. Like, can they go sideways? How does this work? They cannot go sideways. Spectre coil. What do I do with these things? Outputs it to the block it's attached to. Does that mean I have to place it onto the energy cell? Oh, hello. Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. That's an interesting idea, right? Like, I put it on the energy cell, obviously. I could also put it on, like, the controller directly. And I guess you would just feed, like, if we wanted to test this, then what we do is we do that. Right, and you're just fine because you're using 96 and you produce 128. Can I put you there as well? Oh, I totally can. That's interesting. That's cool. Okay. I mean, theoretically, we want to keep that going on. I would hope that this would take precedence over the cable. That's going to be a tricky thing to, like, really measure. But yeah, that's cool. Oh, and the other thing I want to do. So this 9x9 farm checks up to 10 blocks up or down, can be used as a water source. Sponges cannot be placed around. So let's go underneath you for a minute. So I totally tested this a little bit. I mean, putting it here is fine. It'll work. it ain't all that much quicker. I mean, they're nice to have, but they're not like... I remember when playing previous packs. And it was like a, holy cow, that's so much faster now kind of feel to it. Right? So we've got a few tier 2s and a tier 3 in there. It will speed it up, but it's not like, whoa, time. Right? Now, I'm pretty sure I could acceleration wand that thing if I wanted to. I was going to do that. I should have made sure that, okay, this is ready. So that's the tier 3 guy, right? So, like, that's a thing? So what happens is it only triggers, like, once every 30 seconds or something like that, the tier 3 thing. So I wonder if I could, like, mechanical user you. I didn't actually test this, but it's worth a test, right? Use item on block. I don't see a shift option though. It might be that the acceleration wand being automated is... Yeah, see, it doesn't need to be shift clicked. It's nice with the acceleration wand. It's less nice without. Okay. Things and stuff. Back in a minute. Alright, so I'll play around and see if there's several other right-clickable dudes. Like Cyclic, I think, has one. I'm pretty sure, like, user. Doesn't Cyclic have something? Autonomous right-click activation using any item from Cyclic. So that just needs a dispenser and a magma block, which I think we can get magma slimes, right? We could just try it for fun. I'm pretty sure this thing needs power, but we can manage that, right? Oh, yeah, okay. So that preview, it can actually click multiple blocks in an area. I was playing with this a little bit. It's a pretty neat tool. Vertical offset 0, 1x1 size, use or attack. And you need power, buddy. Always on. He doesn't look like he's being used, right? Pretty neat device, nonetheless, right? But I think it's probably such that this guy... Oh yeah, usage of machine has been disabled in config. Ha! There it is, right there, on the tooltip that I completely failed to read. But you know what? It is, though, wrapping up point. So, like, that's cool that we can do that, at least. But we do need to wrap up the episode. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back next time, because it's way past. And I'm going to do more automation of things between episodes a little bit. But we have auto crafting in, and we have wireless crafting grid, which were two things that I very much wanted to get taken care of today. And we also took a look at opening loot bags and got some nifty gadgets from that. All right, guys. Darryl20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. You know what to do. Take it easy.